Louisiana versus all y'all. Jared Rosa here with 2022 Ponchatoula wide receiver Kody Finley, who I just had another opportunity to catch at a 7-on-7 tournament this weekend, which is why I have the crazy mask line across my face from the many hours out there watching Kody and other top prospects battle it out in Tad Gormley in New Orleans. And Kody, I mean, we just chatted a few times over the weekend, but just kind of updating on how you been doing, man. How's everything going over at the Finley household and in Ponchatoula?
It's pretty cool, man. We just working things out because COVID and all that. We pushed back a lot of things, but everything's starting to come together, and a lot of good things been happening lately. So, yeah.
And mom's over there fixing up dinner, so it's a good time at the Finley house too,
It's
getting ready for supper.
like,
Take me through how you felt about this weekend. I think you guys came out there, and certainly y'all are one of the more established EPS Blaze, one of the more established program names in Louisiana. But I think y'all still entered the tournament kind of under the radar compared to some of the other teams from around the country that were out there, and were able to make a run late Sunday night all the way to the championship game and face a Tucson turf team that's been kind of rolling. What worked well for you guys? What did you feel good about coming out of the weekend for you and for the team as a whole?
well, we just left Panama and we made it to the semis, I want to say, and it really, hit home. So we all just got together, talked about what we could have did different, stuff like that. And me and my quarterback JT, we got together, talked about what things was open and stuff like that. And Sunday, I would say that's when we started. He started throwing quick stuff, little dinks and donks and stuff like that. And then we'll start, throwing short passes. Then he'll go long and stuff like that. So we just all started firing on all cylinders. I mean, our defense was already, pretty good. So we just gelled together, and that was just the week that it all came together for us.
How did you feel overall? I don't remember if it was one of your teammates or a guy from another team or a coach or a dad or somebody, but somebody asked you about how you felt now that you finally had that brace off of your knee that you had on for a little while there. And I think you couldn't help but kind of smile and express some pretty quick excitement. Just it seemed like you were moving around pretty well out there.
Oh, yes. I had to. My mother and my father wanted me to go and try out for different 7-on-7 teams and stuff like that. But at the time, I was just dealing with my PCL injury, so I still had that 10-pound brace on that was making me even slower. So I didn't do that well at tryout, so I didn't make it at other teams. But I remembered that Blaze was family. Blaze has always been family, always will be, and I owe Blaze a lot. And Blaze took me in, and I got the brace off, and man, it feels amazing. It's a lot of stress and relief getting that thing off. And I'm very fluent with my routes now. I can move more, and it's showing me a lot of things that I didn't know even before my injury. So it helped out a lot.
And that's where we kind of first started to see more of each other was when you were at that point TJ's baby brother coming up and you would make some catches and your teammates are chanting like he's just a freshman and all those things. How weird is it now that you're going through your last go around with the Blaze, you're getting ready for your senior season with Ponchatoula? It doesn't seem like that long ago that we were having those days, but here you are, you're getting to be kind of an old man.
And it's unreal, bro. Because today I had practice, and I'm like, bro, y'all realize we really seniors. And it's just crazy how fast time flies. For anybody watching it, remember time flies. Get it while you can, because when it's gone, it's gone. So I just really looking back at that, man, that's true. It all went by fast.
You mentioned some of the things that you've been able to do now more recently since shaking back from that knee injury, and whether it be, I mean, just over these past few months, some of the things that you've seen from yourself that you hadn't been able to see before, or the continued development over that entire high school career. How would you kind of describe the way your game has matured and transformed a little bit as you've gotten older?
Well, to be honest, with the injury, my coach and my father talked to me, and we watched my film and stuff like that. And my dad was like, "Son, I feel like you could do more." And I was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "Well, I feel like you could be used in more places because I'm big and I can hold weight. I'm 6'5" right now, over 200 pounds, and I still move like an outside wide receiver. So my dad and my coach got together and we talked about how I could be used at different places. And Coach Hank told me that other colleges was looking at me at H-back and stuff like that and using me as a hybrid. So being injured kind of made me like focus more, if I would say, because like you take for granted when you've never been injured, and you take for granted how important it is to not get hurt in a game of football and how of a blessing that is. So it really opened up a lot for me. Like position wise, it opened it up tremendously because I feel like I could do way more. Like even with EPS, sometimes I run inside, sometimes I'm outside running fade routes, running digs. I'm just very excited because this injury has opened up a lot, and it's showing how I can be used more as a hybrid more than just a one-way street type of wide receiver. And definitely with that.
How have you, in terms of that kind of change of role, particularly if you end up being at any point, working in and being an attached tight end on some plays, how do you feel about continuing to embrace that? I mean, not only you mentioned being able to carry some weight and tack on, but just kind of that mentality with blocking and getting in there and getting a little bit dirtier than you would if you were out on the perimeter.
Right. I definitely learned that this weekend for sure. Because they had some plays where dudes try to get their hands on me and I have to, be aggressive with them. So I'm very, very, very confident in being able to embrace the position because I actually like the aggressiveness. I like, getting my hands dirty and stuff like that. I always didn't like the fact that wide receivers couldn't really do that much. So it's like, you get your hands on them and it's a flag. So I'm very confident that I can embrace this position. And the sky's the limit, as I said when I was a freshman. So, yeah, I'm very confident in this change that I'm possibly going through right now.
Whether it be guys that you see in sort of that role where they're a bigger inside wide receiver or like a more versatile receiving tight end that can kind of split out and stuff like that, have there been guys that at any point through your development that you've looked at and really kind of looked up to or felt like you could take some pieces of their game and kind of mold it into yourself?
Yes, sir. Two off the top of my head is Travis Kelce and Pitts from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Pitts because I watched a video and film of him running routes in a game. And I was like, man, is this dude jogging? When he's really he's gaining ground.
Yeah.
Like long legs, And it reminded me of myself because my legs not moving that fast, but I'm gaining a lot of ground as I'm running. So just modeling myself off of them and watching film on them has really helped me because it's just crazy how you can use wide receiver things to be a good tight end. You know what I'm saying? Because people that's guarding tight ends are not, expecting a tight end to move like that. So that has helped me out a lot for sure.
Yeah, particularly the way the games continue to develop. And you talk about gaining that ground, that's just those long, smooth strides.
Yes, man.
And when you get there, we had a lot of highlights from this weekend of some of those catches. And it was funny. I told your dad when we were catching up a little bit about the weekend, you had the one where you were asking me if I had it, and it was the sack play that I had tweeted out on Monday where you go up and it looked like somebody was throwing like a post entry pass to a power forward and you just go up with one hand and come down with it. And I thought one of the plays on the other side of the field where you had a one-handed kind of behind you across the middle grab and were able to reel that one in was one that was more impressive. And that was one of kind of a long list where you showed sort of that catch radius and ability to control the ball with one hand. How confident do you feel at that point where you're where you need to be, the ball's coming, and you're going to ultimately reel it in?
That's one thing I've never had to worry about. I'm extremely confident in my hands. Having TJ as a brother my whole life has definitely been a big part of that because, him throwing the ball hard as a rocket all the time definitely made my hands stronger. So, just knowing that I have a high catch radius, I mean, you put it anywhere in my area, I'm able to, make the adjustment to make the catch. So I feel like that's one thing that I really love about myself because catching has never been a challenge for me. It's just all about looking the ball and just keeping things simple.
You mentioned some of the colleges talking to Coach Hank about just sort of where your role can be long term. You have about 8 to 10 offers right now. I know Indiana, Kansas, Memphis, New Mexico, South Alabama, Tulane, Southern, and Southeastern are on that list. Who have been some of the schools that you hear the most consistently from, and what have those conversations looked like of what they share with you about what they see in you and how they think you can fit at that next level?
Well, all colleges has been, wanting me for like different things. Not many has said much about tight end. I know ULL contacted me about being a hybrid, more of a hybrid, but Indiana has contacted me about like being just a big wide receiver, and they was like, man, we could, you could be the next DK, stuff like that, because of my build and how I can, handle moving weight and stuff like that. So Indiana has been recruiting me extremely hard, and I love them. I really like them a lot. Memphis, I have a coach over there that I talk to, pretty consistently. Sherman Wilson, I talk to him a lot. I've known him for a while, and him and my dad, cool now. I recently just got the Southeastern offer. I talked to some coaches here and there. Tulane, I talk a lot to. They send mail and stuff like that. But it's a long list to go down. But I mean, I try to keep in contact with all of them. Mexico and all of them. We talk on a weekly basis. I have a very good, decent relationship with all my offers. Definitely Kansas. I like Kansas too. But we all have a good relationship wise. For sure.
As you move forward into the rest of the spring, and then ultimately we get to the summer, and hopefully, knock on wood, some things are back to normal on the recruiting trail, and you can get in person. What does your, I guess, agenda look like in terms of some of the things that you're hoping to work on and continue to fine tune in your game, as well as if you have some visits or trips type things in mind that you'd like to get to some places if and when they open up, what that might look like?
First off, working out wise, I wanna get like, I wanna keep the same weight I have, because right now I'm at like 205, 210, and I wanna like tone it. Like I wanna, like, I'm big, but like I wanna get more tone, stuff like that, and I wanna gain more speed. It's not really hard to do. Just all about your work ethic. Just run fast to get fast, basically. But that's really much working out wise, because route running, that's just, you just gotta know what you're doing to run routes. It's not that hard. You just get in the window, stuff like that. Visiting wise, I like Texas. I'm definitely gonna visit Texas for sure. LSU on my radar. Baylor, I like Baylor too. Indiana, I'm definitely visiting Indiana. That's off rip. I'm definitely visiting them. Kansas, I might visit them. But I mean, I already been up there, so I already know how it is over there. But I'm definitely gonna make a lot of visits, try to get that done.
And you mentioned some conversation with some of your Ponchatoula teammates about just that realization that y'all are gearing up for the last go round. Once we get into fall, what does that look like for y'all? I mean, you took such a huge step forward this past year, and we're looking like one of the top 5 probably state championship contenders, and unfortunately ran into another one of those sort of teams early on and lost a heartbreaker. But as you try to learn from that and grow into this last go round, what is sort of the attitude and the mission for this very talented Green Wave class?
No excuses. That's off rip. No excuses. This year is the last year, last ride. No excuses. If we get to that point where it's do or die, I mean, I'm telling coach I want the ball, because I mean, we have no reason to lose. We have too many players on the team that have college offers, D1 offers at that. So it's no excuses. No excuse to lose this season. This season should be nothing but success, in my opinion, because I don't want nothing other than winning, really. Because just like one thing that's big for me is leadership. That's what we need. That's what I'm trying to be for my team. That's the main thing I'm trying to be for my team right now. And I'm trying to push other seniors to be leaders with me, because that's one thing that the team needs always. Not just basketball, football, all sports. You always need a leader, or leaders, plural. So that's one thing I'm trying to get our senior class to do and help me out with, being leaders of this team and getting Ponchatoula to the championship. And that's the end goal. That's the end game, really. That's what's gonna happen. So, yeah.
There you go. EPS Blaze will be one of the teams to watch on the 7-on-7 circuit here these next few months, and then keep an eye on Ponchatoula in Class 5A come fall in Louisiana, and throughout all of it, keep an eye on this man Kody Finley as he continues to grow into his position for that next level and figure out where that next level will take him. Kody, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Always, man. Appreciate you.
You got it. He's Kody Finley getting ready for that senior year at Ponchatoula, and for Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser.
Thank you.